Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to Willow Creek Homestead. My name is Kenzie if you are new around here. And for today's video, we are going to be making some fun Christmas treats together. Now, we have a Christmas family party to attend tomorrow, so I thought what better thing to do than to bring some snacks. These would also be perfect for like a Christmas Eve snack. There's one in here that is Elf on the Shelf inspired that you could get really creative with your elves at home. So I thought that these would just be fun to do together and test them out. I have never tried either one of these recipes, but they sound really fun. So the first one that we are gonna do is a confetti cookie dough ball. And ever since I made the the cheese ball for Thanksgiving the first time, I've been really obsessed with them. And this one sounded really fun and easy. So let's get started with this one and then we will move on to the Elf on the Shelf Mischief Munch. So this recipe calls for a 1 package cream cheese. So I have that here. I didn't soften it and hopefully that doesn't matter. If I need to, I can just stick the bowl in the microwave for like 10 seconds or so. So we're gonna go ahead and get this out of the package and get this in our bowl because we need to beat together the cream cheese and the butter. But I also wanted to tell you guys, I will likely not be posting at all next week just for the holiday week. I think that that aligns with my schedule a little bit better. I will still be filming, just I probably won't have a video out to you guys next week, so look out for one after that. I think we are going to finish up a project that we started together for the video after that. So I'm actually really looking forward to that. I think that'll be really fun. Okay, and then it says that we need 4 tablespoons of softened butter. So I'm just gonna cut right here at the 4 tablespoon mark. And I am gonna go ahead and warm this one for just a second, just so it can start to get warmed up. I have to be kind of careful whenever I do that though, because this microwave just completely burns everything if I don't watch it. So sometimes where like 10 seconds would be a good recommended time, I do for like 5 seconds. Okay, and then it says that we need to combine both of these first and then whip them until they are super, super light and fluffy. And then once light and fluffy, we will add the rest of the ingredients. I did go ahead and pick up some vanilla wafers to serve this with too, but you can do pretzels, apples, whatever you want to like serve as a side. You are more than welcome to accommodate that with this. Okay, I feel like maybe that's why it needs to be softened because all of these just stuck to that. I don't know, maybe I should just put it on a higher speed and see if all that comes out. Maybe. No worries, we'll get it out of there. I meant to take my cream cheese out last night and I just completely forgot about it, you guys. We've had so much stuff going on as the holidays have started to approach. It's just like my brain is just like, go, 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 go. Don't forget this, you need to do this. And I had it on my list to do and I did not do it. This is why it's important to follow instructions. I just have such a hard time with that. I don't know why, but then I always do it and I'm like, yeah, you should have just listened. Would have been way easier from the beginning. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and stick this in here just for like 10 seconds. Just so that it's not a big glob. Okay, and then the next thing that we need is powdered sugar and brown sugar and vanilla. So we'll go ahead and get the powdered sugar and brown sugar in here first. So it looks like we need half of a cup of brown sugar. Oh, half of a cup of powdered sugar, I'm sorry. And then we need 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, but my 1/4 cup is dirty, so we'll just use this one. And then we also need a little splash of vanilla. Measure with your heart on the vanilla. Originally, I was thinking that I might be able to make 2 of these because the Thanksgiving ball that we made together was rather large and I even cut the recipe in half. So I was like, I'll just make 2 of them, you know, one for my family and I to try tonight and one for us to take to the party. But this doesn't look like it's gonna be very big. So we might just get one and then if we like it, maybe we can munch on it tonight and then I'll make another one for the party tomorrow too. Cause I know Sissy's gonna come home and wanna try this. Like these things do not last in my refrigerator. So maybe we'll do that instead. But if you guys do not hear from me next week with like all of the holiday stuff going on, because I will likely not be posting, I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. and I hope you have an absolutely amazing time with your families. We have 3 Christmases that we go to every single year, so it's going to be very, very busy for us, but I love seeing everyone and just spending time with everyone. So I hope you guys are all able to do the same thing as well. Okay, and then it looks like we need 1 cup of mini chocolate chips, and at this point we go ahead and fold those in. Then we're going to form it into a ball and put it in the freezer, and then we have some additional steps. So let me go ahead and grab those out. And you know what? I'm not even going to measure this, you guys. It says 1 cup, so we'll just do, I don't know, a decent amount. And I have quite a bit of like baking goods and things just stocked up because we've been doing so many baking and like, you know, fun videos like this with snacks and stuff together lately. So I actually have quite the arsenal of like chocolate chips, sprinkles, baking supplies, which is really nice because I hate running out of that stuff. And that is something that I'm not like super good about being stocked up on. I'm more, you know, like savory foods or things to cook with. I don't stock up on this stuff very often, but so far I have really enjoyed having all of this stuff on hand so that whenever I find these recipes, we can just make them and I don't have to go out and get a whole bunch of extra stuff. Okay, so the instructions say that we can lay some paper down 2 layers and form it into a ball. But if you guys remember my last video of trying to form that cheese ball, it was very, very difficult for me. So since this one has to go in the freezer, I think I am gonna go ahead and just put this in the freezer for like 30 to 40-ish minutes, let it firm up a little bit, and then we will try to roll the ball together, and then we will get started on the other recipe while this one is chilling. Okay, and then the next recipe is an Elf on the Shelf mischief munch. And like I was saying in the beginning, this would be really, really fun to have your elves do if you guys do Elf on the Shelf at your house. And so basically this recipe just consists of tossing everything in this bowl and then covering it in white chocolate. And I will leave it down below for you guys. So it's just a bunch of like different cereals, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cookie Crisp, Life, marshmallows, M&Ms, mini chocolate chips. It's gonna be really, really good. And I think this one I can break up and then put like in a baggie or a dish and take it with us to the party. But I have a really funny story for you guys in regards to the Elf on the Shelf thing. So if you have kids watching this, don't let them listen to what I'm about to tell you. So we're gonna start with 2 cups of French toast and go ahead and get that in our bowl. But so we started doing Elf on the Shelf a couple years ago. And if you guys haven't realized by now, I'm really bad about reading and following like instructions with things. Okay, I don't know why I struggle with that, but I do. So we started doing Elf on the Shelf. My dumb butt didn't know that you can't touch the elves. I did not know that. So, you know, like before Novlin was in school and stuff, like it wasn't a big deal. Like she would just, you know, hang out with her elf and like play with it around the house, whatever. Well, it had gotten to a point where like other kids were noticing that she was touching her elf and she was getting a lot of slack from it. Whenever she was little, not so much of a big deal. Well, she wanted to take her elf with her to school. And I was like, no, you know, that's probably not a good idea. We need Cookie Crisp. Just because I didn't want like other kids to see her, you know, picking up and touching her elf. Well, she snuck this elf to school anyway, okay? She snuck her elf to school anyway and hid him in her backpack. And she comes home and was like, I can't even remember what she said, but the kids were like, you're an elf murderer, basically. Like my daughter all day long got told that she was an elf murderer. And so they had to pick something that they wanted to take back to school. And I was like, well, what about one of your elves? Because she has a bunch of them. And she's like, no, I don't feel like being called an elf murderer today. Thanks, though. I'm like, oh my God. So make sure you pay attention because you're not supposed to touch them. Ours have magical powers and Sissy has been able to touch them, but you're not supposed to. So it pays to read. Definitely pays to read. And I had never even like heard of Elf on the Shelf until we did that, you know, like I just wasn't even paying attention. But yeah, my poor baby gets called the elf murderer every single year because mom didn't read that you weren't supposed to touch them. It's terrible. But I just had to share that story with you because I mean, every single year it's like devastating that that's what she gets called, but it's so stinking funny at the same time. It's freaking hilarious. And we have a lot of elves. Like there have been a lot of elves over the years that have adopted our family as well. So we have more than one around here. And they are very mischievous little funny elves. If you guys do Elf on the Shelf, let me know some of the things that you guys have done with them this year. My husband gets creative every single year. It's like his responsibility to come up with what they do most of the time. And he's had some really, really good ones over the years. Okay, so mini marshmallows. Then we need half of a cup of M&Ms. I did have to go out and get some regular M&Ms because all I had were those peanut butter M&Ms from the holiday gifts in a jar that we had. So these are just regular. And then this is 2 tablespoons of holiday sprinkles. You guys, I could not find any Christmas sprinkles at the store. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that out entirely. And then we need 1/4 of a cup of mini chocolate chips. Okay, and that is what that is looking like. There's just a whole bunch of stuff in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little stir around. And then basically all we're gonna do is melt some white chocolate and pour it over the top of this. And then once we get that done, I will get a baking sheet. You just spread it over that and then we just chill it and it's done. So this one is really, really simple. And it says that we need 12 ounces of white chocolate. I am just gonna, I don't know, we'll just start there because that's quite a lot of stuff in there. Actually, we might do a little bit more. Maybe like that, and we'll start there. I completely lost the like package that goes on my parchment paper. I have no idea what happened to it. So I'm just trying to cut off of this stinking roll. But I mean, I guess it still works. It's just kind of funny. Okay, so there is that. Oh my gosh. I was not kidding when I said that microwave gets hot. Like, I don't know, maybe it needs adjusted because it just gets scorching hot. I mean, way hotter than any other microwave I have ever used. I gotta pull one of these out. That is hot. My goodness. But basically you just heat it up in intervals. You don't do it all at one time. You just do like, 15 to 20 seconds at a time. And then once all of this is melted, we just pour it on top of there. Try not to burn my fingers off while doing this though. You can also put this over a pan like on your stove and let it melt that way. I don't know. I think popping it in the microwave is a little bit quicker, but you can do it however you want. I would love to hear about your guys' holiday plans or maybe like what some of your favorite recipes are. Let me know down below what you guys are up to and what you guys are gonna do. Christmas night, after we get done with all of our like traveling and stuff, we'll probably come home, watch a Christmas movie, do some hot cocoa, and just chill out. That's kind of how I enjoy spending like the evening of Christmas. You know what I mean? It's just hanging out like as a family together, watching a good movie because it's a lot of work to travel and do all of that during Christmas Day. Like it really takes it out of you, especially when you have a kid. I feel like going to all of those with a child is a lot of work. And so it's nice to just be able to come home and relax. All right, so this is pretty smooth and melted now. So all I am gonna do is just give it one final stir, make sure there's no clumps in it. And I'm just gonna start putting it in here and then we will get it all mixed up. And it does take quite a little bit to coat that, you guys. I think I probably used close to what it was recommending, but I didn't think that was gonna be enough. So you can always melt more if you need it. And you do kind of have to work fast with this, you guys, because once this starts to cool down, it will harden. And then if you are not able to mix it while it's still super like soft, it'll just stay in one big chunk. So work fast. Okay, so I actually think that amount of chocolate is perfect. We don't need any more. And then the next thing to do is just to get this spread out evenly on this baking tray, and then we will get it in the refrigerator. And that's kind of why I was saying I could break this up. Like I could split this half for the party, half for us to munch on through the week too. And we'll kind of break up the chunks if there is any. But look at how cute this is, you guys. It's just like a big mess of whatever in chocolate. Can't go wrong with that. So definitely super easy, super fun. And I know my daughter is going to love this, and hopefully they do at the party too. I guess the sprinkles that I was going to use to roll the dough ball in might work to sprinkle on top of this just for a little pizzazz. These are just crystal white sprinkles, and I think that they'll look cute. So I am going to go ahead and add a couple of these while that chocolate is still soft, because it technically calls for sprinkles. I just don't have any red or green ones. Like if you had those, that would look way better on here. But that one is all done. It looks delicious. So now let's go ahead and get this one refrigerated. So now our dough ball has been in the freezer for, I don't know, maybe like 35-ish minutes. I did touch it and it's much firmer. So I think we will be able to roll this a lot better. So, and I'm just gonna use my hands to roll this. There's a method to it where you can use like plastic wrap 2 pieces and roll it. I'm not gonna get into all that because I don't know how to do it. So I'm just gonna use my hands, roll it into a ball on the plastic wrap, and then we will dust it in the sprinkles. And then this one is done. Oh yeah, way easier to roll this into a ball after it has chilled for a while. It's just not as much as I was expecting. I don't know. If this isn't enough for you whenever you go to make this, definitely like maybe double it because it's kind of small, especially if you were taking this to a party. That is just something I would go ahead and keep in mind. Okay, got my hands all cleaned. And you know what, you guys? I was actually thinking, why don't we just kind of like form this into a ball and stick it back in the freezer? Because then once this firms up even more, it'll be really easy to roll it in a bowl for the sprinkles to be on it. So I am actually just going to kind of massage this around a little bit and just stick this back in the freezer just like this. And then maybe after like an hour or so, we will meet back together and get the sprinkles put on it. All right, so I went ahead and got our dough ball out of the freezer. I found this red serving tray for the Elf on the Shelf Mischief Munch. So it chilled in the fridge for probably 30 minutes. You guys, I tried this and it is amazing. So simple, so easy. This is incredible, especially with that cinnamon toast crunch. Like the perfect combination, so good. So I did go ahead and save a little container for my family and I to enjoy, and then we are going to see my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece tonight. So I got a little bag packaged up for them as well. So I couldn't find another Christmas dish. So I guess we're gonna use a Halloween one. I don't know what else to do. It's not like it really matters. By the time we get this on there with the vanilla wafers, you're not gonna see the trick or treat anyway, and nobody's gonna be focused on it. So I'm not gonna stress out about it too much, but the last thing that we need to do is we need to roll this in our sprinkles. And you can use whatever kind of sprinkles you want. I just went ahead and picked up these white ones, like I said, for the Mischief Munch, these clear ones, because I thought it would be really pretty. You could do whatever kind you want, however you want to do it. Now let's hope that this comes out without sticking to this too terribly much here. Okay, and that's pretty much perfect. So all I am gonna do is just get this coated in all of our sprinkles. The only thing I hate about these recipes like this is that they're incredibly messy, so it's very hard to like try and touch that and then touch something else, you know what I mean? But I can definitely tell that we need way more sprinkles than that. This dough ball is quite sticky. I keep calling it a dough ball. It's not a dough ball, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, and then if you need to, you can kind of just put it back into a ball shape, and we are gonna stick that right in the center. And then all I'm gonna do is add some of these all around it. And then you can flip them over to make them look a little bit better if you would like to. Or you know what, you could also do like half vanilla wafers, half pretzels too. If you wanted to do 2 options, you could do it that way as well. And actually, we might do that because I think I have, let me check. I think I have pretzels that need used up. We do, pretzel sticks. Okay, so maybe we do half and half because usually I don't use pretzels for anything other than like maybe in recipes or like snacks here and there, but it's not something that we gravitate towards a lot. So let's do both, and then that way those can get used up. I think people will like the vanilla wafers more than they will the pretzels, so I will definitely put more vanilla wafers on than the pretzels anyway, but that way people have at least 2 options. All right, and then that one is done. And you can't even see the trick or treat on it, so it doesn't matter. But hopefully you guys can see the size of this ball. I mean, that's probably a lot of vanilla wafers and pretzels for the size of this ball. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to like a big party, double the recipe. I would at least, that way you have like a bigger serving. But either way, I'm super happy with how that came out. The sprinkles look absolutely incredible, and it is so easy and so fun. I love recipes like that. Anyway, friends, that is gonna wrap up today's video. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I loved making these recipes. I can't wait to taste this one. I was gonna like keep this one here and then take another one, but I think I am just gonna go ahead and take this one to the party, and Sissy can munch on some of the other snacks that I put aside. So I will let you know how this one is. I'm assuming it's fantastic. And like I said, let me know what you guys like to do for Christmas. What are some of your favorite snacks to make, your recipes? I love hearing about that stuff from you guys. So I hope you guys have an amazing holiday week. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. And as always, I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye, friends.